In Frederic Bastiat's 1850 masterpiece, The Law, he poses the following question. Since the natural tendencies of mankind are so bad that it's not safe to allow them liberty, how comes it to pass that the tendencies of organizers are always good? This question is still relevant today, especially in these times of economic instability, public and private corruption, and systemic ineptitudes. Frederic Bastiat is one of the founding people to help generate the libertarian philosophy. Libertarian philosophy applies to all life's contexts. It is a philosophy that values liberty as its highest value, upholds the non-aggression axiom, individual responsibility, and property rights. Basically, it's saying that a hands-off approach, especially in regards to governing bodies and individuals, is the best because it could limit damage done. Henry David Thoreau stated that government is best that which governs least. If you believe or agree with any of these ideas, you might actually find the libertarian philosophy appealing. So in order to speak about libertarianism as a philosophy, you need to define its basic term, which is liberty. Liberty is freedom from arbitrary or despotic government or control, which I got from dictionary.com. Basically it's saying, you should have the independence to make your own choices in life. And liberty is threatened by by enforced control on other individuals. And either something supports liberty or it inhibits liberty. There's no gray area in regards to the libertarian perspective because liberty is the highest value. So you look at it in terms of, does this support liberty or does this hinder your ability to achieve greater liberty in your life? Another way to define liberty would be F.A. Harper's definition, which he proposed in Liberty Defined. He stated, the absence of coercion of a human being by any other human being is a condition where the person may do whatever he desires according to his wisdom and conscience. This leads to varying ideas of morality. Libertarianism is not a code of moral conduct, so to speak. Instead, it's more like a framework to work under. It's not saying that liberty is good or bad. Liberty is. It's just the state of being free. Morality legislation, for example, would go to subvert liberty. So under the libertarian perspective, laws for things like prostitution or drug abuse would be unacceptable because it's not allowing you to make the free choice not to engage in those activities. And along with this, when you have that in mind, liberty would require personal responsibility for it to actually work effectively in society. As Mary Ruwart put it, liberty requires respect for the personal choices that others make. In trying to control others, we will eventually find ourselves controlled. Another way of looking at that concept of liberty would be kind of in the terms of oversight. And Lou Rockwell put it fairly well that he believes that individuals in society can work out their own problems in the absence of top-down management. That you don't need a boss, you're your own boss. And that nobody outside of yourself knows what is best for you as an individual. You're your own master, you're your own keeper. In order to build on this concept of liberty, there's other structures in place that work with it in order to make it a more complete philosophy. First of which is the non-aggression axiom. The non-aggression axiom, it states what it's called. It's one of the earliest examples of the non-aggression axiom comes from Greek philosopher Epicurus, where he said, the justice of nature is a pledge of reciprocal usefulness, neither to harm another nor be harmed. This means that the defensive context would be the only excuse for aggression on another. If somebody's aggressing upon you or your liberty, you have the right to defend yourself, but you don't have the right to aggress on somebody else unprovoked. And this covers all contexts within the libertarian perspective, whether it be a small, independent, personal exchange, or the way governments behave and act, or businesses. It's not limited to any specific area of your life. To further define libertarianism, you must also consider property rights. Liberty needs private property in order to exist. Property is viewed as an extension of yourself, and yourself is viewed as a piece of private property that you own. This concept of self-ownership is paramount in the libertarian perspective because it works with the non-aggression axiom that no people can aggress upon you or behave in a coercive manner against you or your property, and vice versa. So the same rules would apply to everything. What you create is yours, and that falls under the assumption too that if you're creating things, you're going to want to exchange. So these same principles and same laws would also apply to your financial transactions, how you do business, how you live your life. Non-aggression, govern trade. For an example in your own personal doings, like, do you like the way Ben behaves? If you don't, you won't do business with him. If you support him, you would do business with him. All actions and contracts would be voluntary under the libertarian perspective due to that concept of not being free from coercion and being able to choose. So nobody's forcing you to do business with me or Ms. Chester. And that would result in dollars being kind of like votes, where you can vote with your feet as well. And then the final piece of the puzzle would be personal responsibility that acts as the glue that binds all of these concepts together in a package. Without the idea of personal responsibility, it would all fall apart. It would all fall flat. Because eventually, if you carry yourself in a way where you're not holding yourself personally accountable, that it will eventually erode liberty, and it will lead to possibly the loss of property. Again, it could be aggressing on yourself, and when you're engaging in a dishonest manner in regards to other, that's going to increase levels of aggression, and the whole system just falls apart. Libertarianism, they recognize that there's no blanket fix to life situations, and they recognize that all situations are not created equally. So their philosophy is an attempt to create a basic framework to govern behavior, but not tell you exactly how to behave. It maximizes liberty and
make you a victim.
In conclusion, each individual is your own house's keeper, and voluntary society is the most moral society because you have the choice. You're not forced to behave in any certain way. You're making the free choice to behave in a moral or suitable manner. Liberty is the highest value under the libertarian perspective. It depends on the non-aggression axiom in order to work, which also works hand in hand with private property and is held together by personal responsibility. Frédéric Bastiat, at least to me, doesn't appear to be very off base. And it would definitely take a lot of work to improve the situation, to experience maximized liberty, but that's kind of all on you to do with personal responsibility.